For over 10 years, our Lake2Lake riders have proven their inner strength and resilience. We have endured downpours, windstorms, flat tires, and long hill climbs because we believe in the power of our shared experience to create more good in this world. We believe that the basic human right of quality education should be available to the children of Rwanda as they navigate the ongoing impact of this global pandemic too. This current reality will fuel our passion for a better future. If we cannot gather for Lake2Lake in person, we will gather our friends, kids, and family members to get active and join together online to fundraise for the work of the Wellspring Foundation for Education. We will ride, walk, or run for Rwanda because we're all in this together. Join us September 19th and 20th from wherever you are to make a world of difference in the life of a child in Rwanda.
Welcome to the 2020 Lake2Lake Ride, Walk, or Run for Rwanda live stream. We are so glad that you could be joining us this evening or later on this afternoon. It is wonderful that you could be here with us. Not sure if you've participated in the event today yet, or you're doing it tomorrow, or you've already done some stuff. But we are just so glad that you are here. Whether you've been part of this Lake2Lake from the very beginning, where it's been approximately 11 years. Actually, it's been 11 years, the first 10 being rides here in the Okanagan Shuswap. And this year, of course, with COVID, things have been a little bit different. But we are just so amazed at the people across Canada and around the world who have taken part in this new version of the Lake2Lake. And so we are just so glad that you are here with us. And most of all, we're just thankful for the incredible effort that you've taken to get active and to support quality education in Rwanda. There are a number of things that are so fantastic about the Lake2Lake weekends when they do happen, when we're able to gather all together out at Eagle Bay Camp. And one of the things is the community that's built over the course of that weekend as we ride together. Interestingly enough, I'm here in Salmon Arm where the ride goes through, and it's raining this evening. It's actually pouring for the first time in a couple of weeks. And so that's tended to happen over the last few weekends. But one of the things we end up building an incredible bond with one another as we spend that weekend together usually. And so it's a little bit different this year. And one of the ways that we can still engage with you, say hello and connect is through the chat. So on YouTube, there is a chat where it's being monitored by Sarah on our staff. So we'd love to just say hello to you, and we would encourage you to interact with us on the chat. You may notice up on the screen that in the bottom left, we have a scan to donate. Now you're like, what the heck? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do that. It's up on the screen. Maybe you're looking on your phone. It's not going to work then, but you can donate to the Lake2Lake Ride by going to lake2lake.org/give. Or I will show you, if you have a smartphone, you can actually scan that with your camera app. So I've got my phone here and I've got my camera app up, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to pull my phone up. Got my camera app open, and I'm just going to hold my camera up to that code, and I can then, it pops up a message saying open that up in my internet browser. And so I've done that, and you'll see here now that I'm on the Lake2Lake giving page. So you can go ahead there. If you live in the States, that yellow box outlined in red is just a note for you, where if we would appreciate if you'd make your donation through that link there. If you are a U.S. partner, that would be wonderful. But you can go ahead, you select a gift. Maybe you want to donate $120. I would make mine an anonymous gift. You don't have to. Of course, you can put your name there and you'll show up on the recognition roll. And if you like, you can display the amount or not. You go ahead and hit next. And then you would run through all of your billing information. Fill in all that information, you can continue on, and you'd be able to make a donation that way. So if you like, you can actually scan that code in the bottom left of your screen. It'll be up for the whole live stream. Or if you're not sure how to do that, or maybe you're actually watching the show on your phone, you can go to lake2lake.org/give. One of the other things that has been really amazing, obviously, we are not gathering together. There's usually a lot of swag as part of Lake to Lake. Riders, volunteers get bags full of stuff donated from our sponsors. And then depending on your fundraising, if you've raised stuff, you also will have some Lake to Lake product in there. So this year we're not able to give you those, but instead we've put together a virtual swag bag. And so I'm going to take a look at this virtual swag bag for us as well. So the Lake to Lake, if you go to lake2lake.org/swag bag, you would be able to see the virtual swag bag. So Shauna and Kelly, a couple of my awesome coworkers, have put together this swag bag for us. And Kelly wrote, and you can read it on the page, although we would love to be able to give everyone a steak dinner, it's just not possible this year. And so instead we put together a bunch of really cool stuff in our virtual swag bag. So first up, there is a playlist. It is a pretty epic playlist. You'd want to read this write-up, actually, if you get the chance. Shauna did an amazing job writing this up. But here's the playlist. It's up on Spotify. Again, you can find it at lake2lake.org/swagbag. There are 43 songs on here. All different kinds of things. It's some of our staff's favorite jams to work out to and do exercise to. So you want to check that out. You can also find it on Spotify if you were to search for Lake to Lake, and you'd be able to find that playlist. We've also uploaded a few different phone backgrounds for you. Now these are photos that Jeff Heath, the photographer that's gone out to Rwanda with us for a number of years, has taken some amazing photos. And we've just made some phone backgrounds for you that you can just click on the photo and you can download it and save that to your computer. We also have a list of recipes that you can check out. The first up is the Rwanda Sunrise Smoothie. Now, I'm not sure if you had a chance to make this yet this morning or not. Britt from bejoyful.co put together this smoothie for us. You can just click on that red button there and you can download the recipe. Normally what's happening on a Saturday evening, we're sitting around at Eagle Bay Camp and Chef Todd has made us an amazing meal. He shared his chicken Santa Fe recipe with us, and you can of course download it there. And then lastly, we have some energy bites that you can make to help keep you going during your activity if you're continuing tomorrow. So we have Lake Kivu energy bites. We didn't want to forget about the kids this weekend either. And so my son Matthew put together this amazing coloring page, even if I do say so myself, for the kids. So you can download that and kids can color that. And then lastly, if you haven't done it already, you can get a participant bib. Or if you are continuing on tomorrow, you may want to download that. Just like my family tomorrow, we're going to be hiking the White Lake Traverse up here in the Shuswap. And we can download and print off bibs to show that we are participating in that. So that is some of the virtual swag bag there. One of the other things, I'm not sure if you have been tracking along on our social channels at all over the course of the weekend or the last little while, but there is a ton of stuff up on our social channel. So you want to follow us at Lake2Lake. Sorry, you want to follow us at Ride for Rwanda, either on Facebook or on Instagram. I'm just going to pull up our story here. And I just got to scoot back here for a sec. There is a ton that's been going on today. Emily's been doing an amazing job for us. She's our social media guru at Wellspring. So let me just stop right there and I'll bring this up on the screen for you now. So here is an Instagram story with a bunch of stuff that's going on. So if you are participating in Lake to Lake, we'd love to engage with you. Share your stuff with Ride for Rwanda, if that's on Facebook or on Instagram. And of course, tag all your posts with Lake2Lake 2020. So hashtag Lake2Lake 2020. Here's just a bit of the stuff that has been going on. Here's some of my amazing Rwandan colleagues. They wanted to send some encouragement videos. They are cheering us on. And so they hopped on some bikes and are just riding. And you see some of them cheering there on the side, which is just amazing. They are so behind what we're doing. Of course, all the funds that are raised during Lake2Lake go to support the amazing work of the Wellspring Foundation for Education. This is Jake Kosteluk and his cousin Mike are doing a 465-kilometer ride. They call it bike packing. And so they're off down here into the interior from the lower mainland. Our CEO, Kevin Dixon, and a group of friends are riding Lake2Lake in Ontario. And they got started this morning in Grand Bend, I believe. And they're on their way to Port Stanley. Bit about the Spotify playlist, which you can find there. This is it up on Spotify, actually, and there is Too Legit to Quit is playing on there. I would not pay attention to these fundraising totals that you'll see early on in the story because that has all changed thanks to people's generosity. Just been absolutely amazing. Christy and her crew are hiking the Baden-Powell Trail over 2 days, so this is day one. There's Kevin and his crew. Out in Ontario. Meg has done her 5-kilometer ride today. Emily and her crew out walking in Ontario as well. There's a bit more. They're actually doing some dancing there now as well. And this is Louise's father, Douglas, out in Scotland going lock to lock for quality education in Rwanda. I'm going to skip over some of that because we'll come back to that a little bit later. Barb is going to join me on the stream to update us on the finances. This is Sharon and her husband, Dwayne, the BMX Bandits out in Hamilton, Ontario. There's a bit more of Em and her crew. Meg, and that's the ride that she did. Anyways, as you guys can see, there's just been a ton of stuff going on. David cheering everybody on and just so thankful for what everybody is doing on behalf of Wellspring here. Vidast, thank you. So if you get a chance, just check out the stuff on social. You can follow us at Ride for Rwanda, either on Facebook or Instagram, or of course search for the hashtag Lake2Lake 2020. So as you can see, tons of people are doing a lot of stuff. A lot of people, actually not a lot, but there's been a number of people that began their Lake2Lake weekend last weekend, actually. So I know Grant rode around Okanagan Lake here in the Okanagan, and Mark and Renee Coolha and their girls rode the rail trail, and so we are just so grateful to everyone that has participated, not just today, but over the last couple of weeks even. Chris Wignall out in Ontario also did his Lake2Lake activity. He made a stand-up paddleboard, cycle, swim, run event that he did. One of my coworkers, Quentin, also had a jump-a-thon on his trampoline with his kids last weekend. So it's just been amazing, some of the ideas that people have come up with to help raise money for Wellspring. And so we thought it would be great and would be really fun to hear more from one of the families who've already completed a major part of their Lake2Lake stuff, and that's Mark and Renee Coolha. So I'm going to hand it over to Christy, our Lake2Lake coordinator, who had a chance to sit down with them recently and talk through what they did.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with Mark and Renee Coolha, and they have taken part in the Lake2Lake Ride for Rwanda for many years. And we want to thank you so much, first of all, for joining us, Mark and Renee. We wanted our Lake2Lake participants to get to know you a little bit. And so we wanted to ask how you originally got involved in Lake2Lake. Could you share a little bit?
Oh man,
That
yeah.
was so long ago.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being, I guess, involved, or not being involved, but having a front seat to the origins of the Wellspring back in 2000 with Richard and Jeff, the founders. Mm-hmm. And basically from then on, watching that vision, when the Lake2Lake started, we were in Edmonton. We missed the very first one because I didn't know anything about cycling at all. And then since then we've done every one of them. So has been our 10th.
Awesome. So this year you actually participated with your family, with your girls. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that went?
That was my big idea. And the morning of, I woke up and like you just said, I believe I Insta-storied on Saturday to my followers, like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't want to do this right now. This was a horrible idea. But it actually was awesome. So we decided to bike from Lake Country, just outside of Kelowna, to Vernon and back. So about 53.5 kilometers. Mark keeps reminding me
that 0.5
yeah.
is very important because it's the hardest point.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
So we biked with our 7 and 4-year-olds, all in one day, 53.5 kilometers. And they did it. They did great. Milena, the 7-year-old, was on her bike by herself, and he towed the 4-year-old on like a trail bike thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's great. So a challenge for all of you in many ways, hey?
Yeah.
A challenge in counseling and willpower.
Yeah. Breakdowns. Mark's crying.
Yeah, exactly. I just needed a cookie halfway through.
I want to switch gears just a little bit and ask about Wellspring. What is it about Wellspring's work that resonates with you guys? Why do you keep coming back and fundraising very generously, very committedly for Lake2Lake every year? What is it about Wellspring that speaks to you?
I gotta say, our 4-year-old sums it up the best. She, after this whole ride, we were going to bed that night and getting ready for bed, and I asked, Dana, do you know why we did this Lake2Lake ride? And she's like, for good schools and good teachers, right? And
I think the Wellspring is just an organization that it's easy for us to ask our friends and family, because Wellspring is a organization made up of people of integrity. And so we have full trust and faith in how these dollars are being used. So it's pretty easy to ask because we know that. And the work that the Wellspring does is truly, education is one of those things that breaks cycles. And so if you talk about making an impact in the world, I can't think of a better way than education.
We all have been more aware of like when there's a challenge to the education system, how much that impacts our kids, right? And so I think this season has made us more aware of just how important it is to have teachers who are committed to their work, committed to bringing quality education to their students. So that's great. You must be so proud of your girls for their accomplishment. Is there anything that you shared with them or that you would want to share with them to say to them as they've completed this challenge?
Well, I know partway through, Milena said she was struggling. She's 7 years old. We're on our way home. She's hours into this, kind of hitting that wall. And she was crying that she didn't want to do it. I reminded Milena that there's only one way home, and that was to bike. And then I reminded her, you've always wanted to participate in the Lake2Lake. You're doing it right now. Yeah. And she said, yeah, but I didn't know, Mom. And I said, oh, so if you knew now, or if you knew then what you know now, you never would have done it? She's like, yeah, this is really hard.
Oh, no.
She's like, I don't think I would want to do this again. And then we just took that opportunity to talk to her about, this isn't about us. It's not about our family going on a bike ride. We're doing this for something bigger than ourselves. And at 7 years old, she just got it, and she put her head down, and she's like, yeah, that's right, Mom. And she did it. And I think that's one of the things we're so proud of. Yeah. And what I would say is just a life lesson, right? That when you're doing things that are beyond yourself and not just for yourself, it really helps dig into that perseverance.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. And like thinking of our trainers and what they're experiencing, the challenges that they're experiencing, and the way that they model perseverance, a phrase that has often been used by our team is that we're not coming down. We are not coming down from this good work that we're involved in. And we see that now more than ever, that they're not coming down, that they're finding unique ways to make inroads to address the barriers and to provide good pathways for kids to receive a quality education.
Showing some of the photos on, I think, the Wellsprings Instagram, and there's one where you have a teacher trainer and he's walking down a mud path.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that the next morning and just bringing that back to that conversation on her bike and stuff like that. I'm like, see, they're persevering too.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
so it's neat to make those connections and just watch them get it.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting for us.
Oh, for sure.
To those who are in the middle of it, who are taking a break, catching this in their sweatpants and having a snack and hopefully rehydrating, and then they're going to head out again tomorrow. What would you like to say to them?
I mean, the morning of day 2 is always so hard, right?
Yeah.
You were saying the other day, the morning of day 2, it's like he just wants to get on his bike and get going. Like, let's not draw it out, let's go. So I think that would be it. Like once you start pedaling or walking or whatever it is for you, then you can dig into that greater purpose that we're doing this for something else. And
yeah, I've always thought the first day of the traditional Lake to Lake, you're running on adrenaline, you're excited, nothing is sore yet.
Yeah.
It's the morning of day 2 where you're like, yeah, this is for a cause, because I don't want to hop on the bike right now, but I will for something bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you guys are feeling sore, tired, thirsty, hungry, whatever it is. This is where, you really earn it and you realize it's for a good cause. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Going.
Keep going. Yeah, and remind all your friends and family that it's hard, so maybe they donate a little more.
Well, thank you guys for taking the time to connect. Really appreciate it. And I just want to say that we've loved having you as part of our Wellspring family. You guys have been so committed for so many years, and that is so encouraging to us as a team. So yeah, thank you so much for being a part of it, and all the best with your day 2. And hopefully we'll see you guys at next year's Lake to Lake in person.
Absolutely.
Hoping that we can make that work. And if not, we'll find other ways around it so that we can stay connected. So yeah, thank you so much.
Great to hear from Mark and Renee and Christy even. Christy's actually up on the Baden-Powell Trail with her crew, and they are off on a hike. So that's great that she was able to sit down with Mark and Renee. We are getting really close to the big moment when we are going to announce the current fundraising total and then award the highly coveted fundraising prizes. But before we do that, I just wanted to follow up on some of what Mark and Renee had said there, some of their encouraging words, and I really just want to remind you of the difference that you're making this weekend. So if you've listened to the welcome video that went out on Friday, if you received that, you may have heard Quentin share about some of what has been going on in Rwanda during this season of COVID. So schools are closed. That means school feeding programs are no longer available for vulnerable children. And there is a huge potential for students to not return to school when they do reopen. We don't have a date on that yet. But when they do, that's one of the things that we are just quite concerned about. As Wellspring works to develop quality education in Rwanda, a lot of what we do normally takes obviously takes place in schools, which are not open at this point in time. They are actually still closed. There seems to be a fly bugging me. Even though the school buildings are closed, our team of trainers are actually still at it, still doing a whole lot of work. There's been a number of things that they're doing. And I don't know if you've seen some of the celebration videos. I mean, I showed you a little bit earlier, but if you follow along on our social channels, you'll see they put together a bunch of videos just cheering you guys on. So anyways, a lot of our trainers, though, they haven't stopped working at all, right? So our work is really focused on people. And so from day 1 of the pandemic, we've been engaged in supporting teachers and parents, leaders and students in so many practical ways. We've helped to put together some radio lessons. We've provided food supplies to vulnerable families. And then our drivers and vehicles have been volunteered to help with the National COVID Task Force. So there's actually still been a lot going on. We purchased 35 tons of beans and maize flour that was distributed to a number of vulnerable families. So today, with all the schools closed until further notice, our Rwandan team continues to creatively support the people that we serve. So some of that going on now even is developing workbooks that provide advice around things like COVID prevention. We've been supporting children in their communities to help prevent dropout. And we've been helping leaders to work on school improvement plans that will place quality education and the needs of children as the top priority in the months ahead. So through the fundraising that you guys have been doing over the course of Lake2Lake in the last few months, you are really helping to make sure that even in the midst of the massive challenges that are facing children in Rwanda, they will still have the opportunity to receive the best education possible. So even though this pandemic has caused havoc, you guys have stepped up, and we have just been so blessed by that. And this sends such an encouraging message to the students. They just hear how much their lives matter, that people all around the world are willing to do something to help raise funds, to help provide quality education for them. So thank you so much. We're looking forward to sharing more in the months ahead about the impact of our efforts over the course of Lake2Lake. So we will be getting some information out to you later on down the road to let you know what the funds raised from Lake2Lake have done on the ground in Rwanda. But for now, it's time to just look at how much you guys have actually raised. And I know we've blown past our target. And so I am going to invite Barb Luck, Wellspring's financial officer, to join me here on Skype in just a sec. And she's going to go through all the fundraising updates, give us a whole new total on where we are at. The last time I checked, I think the number is quite a bit different than what I was expecting. And we have some fundraising prizes that we are going to hand out. So we just want to give a shout out to Fastic, Brad Melchuk, and the team over at Fastic Label and Supply for sponsoring our fundraising prizes. They have been just a tremendous partner of Wellspring and the Lake2Lake over the last number of years. So I am going to bring Barb up. Hi, Barb. How are you doing? How are things going? I was expecting to see you at Harrison.
Oh, well, the smoke kind of caused a bit of a havoc with that. And then with the rain on top of it, we weren't sure how the ride was going to go today. But right. Edgar's out in Tawasin and just enjoying riding and on the beach, and he was able to pull a couple of guys along with him today. So that's been a great time. I was pit crew, but thankfully I was able to stay home and not have to help.
That's awesome. Barb, I'm
thrilled with our fundraising that's come in.
It's amazing, yeah.
It is. It just blows me away, the generosity of so many people and just how many different individuals and teams that have been able to join in, adapt through our COVID. And that's been very, very fascinating for me to see how no matter what, everything counts and everything matters. So we're just so grateful for everyone that's participated.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to know our total to this moment?
I think we are. That would be, it'd be awesome if you could. Yeah. $105,199. Wow. Woo! That is just amazing. Hey, that is really, really fantastic.
Oh, wow.
I think the last time I looked, it was around the 95. So that's another, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, 10,000. It's doing great. So this year for our prizes, we have 3 different prize categories. We have the top 3 individual fundraisers. We have the top fundraising team, which is for any activity. Okay. And then we have the top fundraising cycling team.
Wow.
So, yeah, and this year our fundraising prize winners are going to be awarded a gift card of their choice. Either Canadian Tire, Chapters Indigo, Best Buy, the Running Room, and Christy, our Lake2Lake coordinator, will be in touch next week to arrange for the delivery of these gift cards.
Great.
So stay tuned for that. She'll be on it. That's our Christy. And also, the top cycling team will receive a prize that's awarded every year at Lake2Lake, which is our Wellspring Cup.
The Wellspring Cup. I actually have a
beautiful
picture of it. There we go.
wooden carved from Rwanda, and each year the top fundraising team gets their name engraved in the side of it. But that's for later. Right now, our top 3 individual prizes for the most fundraising are ...
Yeah.
In third place, for a $100 gift card, the winner is Linda Milkey.
All right, Linda.
She's raised $5,410, and she's one of our lovely former employees of Wellspring and lives in Ontario. The second place winner is Chris Wignall.
All right.
$6,100. And in first place for a $300 gift card is Edgar Luck. $8,340.
Edgar Luck.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Every year Edgar does just amazing. Yeah, he really gets people involved, so that's awesome. That's great.
That is awesome. And it's neat how people just hear the cause and love to support.
Well, that was something that I was just absolutely blown away by. We got a really late start in our fundraising as a family, and so it's only been a couple of days and we've exceeded our target already. We tried to raise $3,000. We thought $500 per person, and in just over 24 hours, our friends and family just responded. It was just amazing. So we're quite overwhelmed by that. Yeah.
Cool. Well, second team prize is for those that have a team but any activity. And our winning team for that is the West Coast Wanderers. And maybe they're still up in the mountain doing their hike.
I think they are.
$8,595.
Cool.
And each team member will receive a $50 gift card of their choice.
Great.
So for the top fundraising cycling team, in addition to the $50 gift cards that each team member will receive, they will also receive our perpetual trophy, the Wellspring Cup, which you saw a picture of. Oh, there it is. There's a Wellspring Cup, and you're trekking hard up those hills. It's a beautiful wooden sculpture created by a Rwandan artist, Laurent Hatagamakana, I believe. And that has been our top Lake2Lake team prize since 2015. And members of the winning team have their names engraved on the wood and get to enjoy the trophy until next year's Lake2Lake. And then it gets to go to the next winning team, unless it's the same team again. Which this year I believe it might be, because it's Camp Coolhaw at $16,333.
Wow.
So they won it,
yeah.
And all of these fundraisers that I've spoken of that have won a prize, would you believe all of these have raised a total of $44,778?
Wow.
All part of that big $105,000 that we've raised.
That's amazing.
So very exciting. Way to go, teams. I know you don't do it for the gift cards. You do it for the children. But that's a nice little perk for all the work that you've done today. So thank you.
That's true. That is amazing. Yeah, just absolutely awesome. So thanks so much to Fastic. And Barb, I know you've been kind of diligently checking and double checking how much has been raised just to keep track of that. So one thing to note, obviously we have awarded the prizes today. Today was the cutoff, but the actual fundraising deadline is not until October 15th. So there are no worries if you still have friends that want to give, even though we've exceeded our fundraising target. You know, Barb and I have worked for a while. Barb's been here since the beginning. I've worked since February 2009. We have seen firsthand. We have been to Rwanda multiple times. We have been into schools. We have been into the classrooms. We have met people who have been impacted by the work of Wellspring. Our colleagues in Rwanda are just amazing. And so every dollar that you give actually does make a difference. It truly does make an impact into school communities in Rwanda, which ultimately will affect the wider community in Rwanda as well. So, you can continue to ask people. People tend to be encouraged when they see pictures of what you're doing as well. So if you're continuing on, don't be shy to follow up with another ask for people as you complete your activities. So yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you, Barb, for updating us. You have done an amazing job. Really appreciate it.
Great, thanks.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye. So as I mentioned, even though, maybe you've completed your Lake2Lake activity already, maybe you are finishing it up tomorrow. I know the prizes have been given away, but that doesn't mean you need to stop fundraising. As I said in talking with Barb there, every dollar that is raised really does make a difference in Rwanda. And so the deadline for fundraising is October 15th, and you have until midnight Pacific time to continue making a difference and to be eligible for our swag items. So depending on how much you've raised, we have different pieces of swag that you will receive. We have Lake2Lake buffs, we have socks, and we have some enamel coated tin mugs if you hit the $1,000 mark. So you can continue to fundraise to try get some of that swag. You can continue to fundraise to help make an impact in Rwanda. And any swag that you are eligible for and haven't received yet will be coming your way soon. So we can wait until the 15th to check everything, and then we'll be mailing that stuff out to you. The other thing, we have Lake2Lake jerseys. So every year we design a jersey for Lake2Lake. This year, Kelly Workington on staff here took a shot at it and had Jack Rue put together our 2020 Lake2Lake jersey. You can still purchase your jerseys if you visit Jackroo, so shop.jackroo.ca/Lake2Lake-2020. It's up in the yellow bar at the bottom of the screen there. So it's shop.jackroo.ca/Lake2Lake-2020. It is case sensitive, so I'll just make sure that you get that down right if you want to order those jerseys. And just a huge thanks again to sponsors who help cover the cost of those jerseys for us. So Kenora, Dicor Construction, and Fastic have helped and sponsored those jerseys. So thankful to those guys and their partnership each year, actually, over the last number of years, they've helped out. So finally, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you. Thanks to all the participants for everything that you're doing this weekend. There is a vast array of things going on. It's actually really cool to see. And really across the world, there's been a number of, there are people in a number of places doing a variety of different things. It's just been amazing. Whether you've done it, this weekend or you're doing it tomorrow, you've done it in the last few weeks. We're just so thankful that you've done a different activity to help raise funds for Wellspring's work in Rwanda. We also want to thank everyone who's donated to the ride this year, and you've helped us just blow past our target. We've just overwhelmed by that. It is so amazing. And we want to thank the organizers as well at Wellspring. It really is a team effort. You've seen Barb and I, Christy was up on the screen, so you've seen a few of us, but our whole team really is involved. Emily's running social media. Sharon's helped getting videos and testimonials of people who have done stuff. Shauna helped put playlists together. And I'm going to forget people. I start listing off the things that I've done, but it really is a team effort. And so just a huge thanks to our Wellspring team for that, and especially to Christy, who has led the charge this year. And really, we had to kind of create a whole new way of doing Lake2Lake this year, obviously because of COVID. And so just a huge thanks to her for all the work that she's done in that. We also want to thank all the pit crews. So those are the friends and the family who have cheered you on and us on as we've taken part in our different pursuits in our own neighborhoods. And all the very best of you to you who will be continuing your stuff tomorrow. So my family, we will be hiking the White Lake Traverse. I know some people are overnighting and they will continue on tomorrow to complete their journeys. Other people are just repeating what they did today and they'll be doing it again tomorrow. So our team here in Canada and our team all the way over in Rwanda are cheering you on every step of the way. I actually have a cheer video here that I am going to show you. It is a little bit loud. It's from our Rwandan, it's from a few of our Rwandan colleagues. I'm gonna put it on now. It's kind of quick. It's a little bit loud. But here it comes. That was just a few of our coworkers. We received a number of videos from our team in Rwanda. They every year, they are so encouraging. They are so blessed. They are so thankful that people around the world would decide to hop on a bike or hike a trail or do whatever it is you've done to raise money for the work that they are doing on the ground in Rwanda. And all the funds that are raised through our Lake to Lakes go towards the work of the Wellspring Foundation for Education. If Wellspring is new to you and you'd like to find out more about what Wellspring actually does, what we do on the ground in Rwanda, you can visit our website at wellspring.ngo. It's up on the screen there in the black, wellspring.ngo, to find out more about what we do. So we've come to the end of our Lake to Lake live stream. And again, just a huge thank you for your participation, for your donations, for your support of the people that are doing different activities. There is still time to donate. We have until the 15th of October. If you look up on the screen in the bottom left, you can scan that QR code to make a donation, or you can visit lake2lake.org/give to make a donation. Thank you so much again for your partnership. Thanks for joining us this evening on our live stream. And hope you guys have fun if you're continuing things on tomorrow. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you.